Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the channel. I want to give you my suggestions that I think you should consider if you want to buy a nice watch and you have about $4,000 to spend. Now the first suggestion is a Cartier Santos 100 XL in stainless steel. I love this watch. Granted, it's not the latest generation with in-house movement, but it's beautiful, it's timeless, it has some really great history. And if you look at this watch and you look at the original Santos and you see the difference of 100 years, there really isn't that much of a difference. I mean, the design, you can see how it's evolved, but yet it's still almost original. I really love this pick, used at about $4,000. Now the next one is a Grand Seiko Snowflake. This one is hardened titanium, finished by hand, beautiful texturized dial, and of course Grand Seiko's iconic spring drive movement that they're very proud of. Now, $4,000, you're looking used and you're probably looking at the Seiko dominant logo as opposed to the newer Grand Seiko only logo, but for a dress watch, for an everyday piece, it's gonna be hard to beat. Now, the thing about this price point is you don't have to be practical. You don't have to be limited to time and date only. You can go with the complication. And chronographs, I think, kind of rule the roost at this price category. So I'm gonna give you a few chronograph suggestions. First one is the Zenith El Primero. There's a host of options. You can go with a more obscure one, maybe a little bit more dressy. You're gonna be spending under $4,000. If you want the iconic 1969 with the tricolor sub-registers, you're probably looking at only used 38mm versions, which are still amazing and probably my favorite pick out of all the ones I'm gonna suggest to you guys today. They're awesome. If you want the 41mm size, you're probably gonna have to stretch the budget and go up closer to $5,000. Those are a little bit more hot right now on the market, but a great chronograph. It's hard to beat, really. Now the next suggestion is an Omega Speedmaster Sapphire Sandwich. Now I love this watch. I like it more than the Hesalite version. It's a little bit more expensive, but it's got, dual sapphire crystals, so you can see the movement. The movement is beautifully finished. It's finished nicer than the 1861 chronograph that's in the Hesalite version. And these Lamania based chronographs, they're fully mechanical, they're hand winding, and they're just beautiful. And there's no silly plastic break in these Sapphire Sandwich versions. Now the next suggestion is gonna be a Breitling Navigator. Now at $4,000, you're probably not gonna be able to find a B01 movement, which is okay. The B01 really hasn't been out all that long. All indications suggest that it's a really nice chronograph, but there's no long-term history associated with it. So you're looking at used Valjoux based movements in these Navigators, and those are great. Don't let anyone tell you that, oh, they're crap, you need a column wheel chronograph, blah, blah, blah. No, these Valjoux, these are done right. These 7750s are really solid movements, and Breitling finishes every single level beautifully. And yes, they are chronometers, they're bulletproof, they're really good ones. So don't let people say, oh, you only need the B01. No, the 7750 is pretty awesome. I love Breitling myself. So you may be asking yourself, can I buy a Rolex at this price point? And certainly you can. You can buy a Rolex if you have $4,000. But in my opinion, it's not the Rolex that you probably want to be buying long term. Now, any Rolex is a good buy, but the ones at $4,000, you're probably looking at 30-year-old Datejusts that have been refinished a few times. You're looking at 34mm Air Kings. You're looking at possibly a 39mm OP in like an obscure color like the grape dial, the red grape. So in my opinion, I would say wait till you have, $5,500, $6,000, buy an Air King, buy an Explorer, save up a little bit more to get the more desirable Rolexes. 5 years ago, yeah, you could buy an Explorer 2, you could buy a two-liner Submariner in some cases, but the market just isn't there anymore. It's gone up. So any Rolex is usually a good buy, but I'd say if you have $4,000, I'd say keep saving. Or you don't want to keep saving, buy one of these other awesome watches that I've suggested. That's probably what I would do. Now let me give you just a few honorable mentions as we close out. I think a Girard-Perregaux Seahawk would be a great buy. It's a little bit out in left field. No one really knows about it, but it's just a beautiful chunky diver from just an amazing company. I'd also say you could look at like an IWC Pilot chronograph. That's another great Valjoux based movement that you should consider. But occasionally you'll find some killer deals. Now, they don't happen all that often. You gotta have money in hand, you gotta be ready to pounce, and you gotta be patient. But I had a buddy that bought a Brigade Type 20 Transatlantic for under $4,000. It was a beautiful pickup. It didn't have a box or papers, but still, you know, if you're buying an authentic Brigade at that price point, you're doing really, really good. He ended up selling it to another buddy of mine for under $4,000 as well. So the deals are out there. You could probably find like an Ingenieur, a nice Ingenieur for about $4,000 if you're patient. So be patient, look at what's out there, find the one that's for you. Remember, you don't have to be practical if you're spending $4,000. The general population, they think it's crazy to even consider spending $4,000 on a watch. So buy whatever you like. Don't take my suggestions too seriously. They're just my favorite picks. If I missed yours, put it in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. I know everyone else would like reading your experiences and your suggestions. So anyways, thanks for taking the time to watch, guys. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.